Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have missed you guys. Sibuile.
We are back.
Welcome to State of the Strong, a Bull Brand podcast. We're back.
We're back.
It's season 2 and we are better than ever.
Listen, I'm so excited. We got a whole new setup here. We're looking good.
Look.
We're looking a bit brighter. We're glowing even, friends.
No, listen, we've had such a good run. We had such an amazing time. I had fun co-hosting season 1 with you.
Yeah.
And I promise you, like the guests that we have this season, the guests that we have today, we are just knowledge dumping on you guys. If you guys thought that season 1 was a lot, oh my word. Take out your notebooks. Balanama notes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it is about to be so absolutely amazing. Sibu, please tell us who is on the show today.
Listen, we have one of the most prolific podcasters in South Africa, and he knows he can't even fight me on this. But Mesh, welcome to the show.
Are you serious, Lindaba?
Goodness me.
Mesh.
Thank you so much for joining us. Oh my goodness. Listen, I've been waiting for this moment for a really long time, okay? He is known for many things, but the one thing I respect him the most for is becoming a pioneer in the podcast space. We are here because someone walked and now we are running, okay? We are running. Mash, how are you doing, brother?
I really appreciate how kind that was.
Of
That's
course.
like very, very kind.
Of course.
I'm very, very good. I'm excited to be the first guest of your new season.
Yeah.
You guys have an amazing set, but also you amazing co-host.
Thank you.
Because I do my research. So I had to go watch all the episodes and make sure that, listen, I'm here, I'm prepared.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the, really great conversation.
For sure. Listen, you are in safe hands. Now, Sibu only scratched the surface when he mentioned all the things that MASH does, but we're going to get into that. You already know how we do it. If you guys are listening audibly via any podcast streaming services, I am opening the 60 seconds of Strong jar. We are about to get into it. This is to test. This is the ultimate test of all tests. We need to see how quick you can think and how serious your answers are.
Okay.
You've seen the show, so I don't even need to explain how it goes to you, right?
Let's do a refresher.
A refresher, alrighty. So I have got with me a jar that has slips of pieces of paper that have prompts. I will hand each prompt to you and you have to get as many as you can within 60 seconds answering the prompts. Simple, easy, straightforward. Are you ready to do this?
Okay, so I'm just reacting.
You're just
You're
reacting.
just reacting.
We're not
Instinctively.
here to stress you, my brother.
Don't you worry at all.
Oh, and the nice thing is that we're starting over now. We're starting from zero, right? We're starting from zero, okay? You get to set what the record is, and anybody who comes after you has to try and beat you.
Okay.
Okay.
So it can't be low.
It can't.
My brother,
Oh,
please.
that's already pressure.
I believe in you. Okay, are we ready?
You can handle the
3,
Okay, let's go.
2, 1, go.
Load shedding is killing small businesses. Black Twitter is worried about Twitter blue. Our president is always shocked. The future looks strong. Unemployment is killing the youth. Money is not your purpose. Debit orders are, what the hell? YouTube is hard. Love is action.
30 seconds.
Power is purpose. The EFF is red. Umjolo is beautiful.
15.
Strength is love.
Nice.
Dreams are important. The youth are being killed by load shedding and unemployment. TikTok is fun.
4 seconds.
Being your own boss is hard. Family is everything.
Time.
Instagram is love.
Are we counting Instagram?
No, don't
we
count.
can't
We're
count
not?
Instagram.
Okay.
Later.
Later.
We have a
Instagram
fair
is
man
love.
on our hands. Okay, let's do a count there. Do you want to do a count for us? See how many you got?
Okay.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Mash?
Alrighty.
You went a little hard there. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
And he was so calm with how he
It's
handled
like
it as well.
Top 5% of
You
our
think so?
guests. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I think people are gonna struggle to beat that.
I think that's important.
Our brother Mash, can you tell them briefly who you are, what you do, what we love about you so much?
Briefly, because there's a lot.
Okay. So I summarize it as I'm a creator and an entrepreneur. I always go around and I say I'm unemployed pretending to be an entrepreneur, right? But more than that, I'm building an ecosystem of tools for startups, for creators, and for small businesses, right? So for the last 10 years or so, I've been working in the sort of startup and small business development ecosystem. These are the people that help you be able to start, build, and run businesses. And spent about 5 years with a company that was really focused on just enabling small businesses to thrive as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much me.
So I know him as sort of like basically the kingpin of small businesses in South Africa.
Kingpin.
Kingpin.
You're right, Lara. You've never lied a day in your life.
This is false PR. This is false PR. I think knowing what you do and the fact that so much of your businesses and the work that you do is centered around communities and groups of people, I feel like that struck so strongly, especially with your narrative and just who you are and what you're all about, you know? And I just want to go back to, before we get into all the businesses that you founded, that you joined, became a part of, where you're at right now, where did all of it start? Like, where do you find the audacity to say that I am going to start something and I'm going to make it work and it's going to be a serious thing, especially in the country that we're in right now?
Yeah. So I think that we live in a country where a lot of young people are actually just forced into this position. You don't have a choice, right? Like, if you think about it, whether it's unemployment or not being able to access higher education, all these different things, like, young people are being forced into a corner where it's like, hey, you need to figure it out.
Yeah.
So the first thing I ever built was something called PaperShare, and it was basically just an online platform for matriculants to download and share past papers. Literally just like walked into the sort of computer lab at UJ, and I just walked up to a developer and was like, hey, can you help me build this thing? Because I was just like, this is an interesting problem to have. Because when I was in matric, you had to hustle for those things.
Hey, my boy.
If you didn't know the right guy or the right teacher, it was just like, no, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Right? And it was like, no, I want to democratize access to these learning materials that can help a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
And the first thing I did was try and I DM'd something like 100 or 200 like South African celebrities. I don't think there's that many. Like, before then, I thought like everyone was a celebrity.
Yeah.
If you had like 50,000 followers, I thought, oh man, you're gonna help. No, right? So DM'd all those people.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I've built this thing. I don't know how to get it out. Can you help me? The only person that shared it was Trevor Noah, right? Trevor Noah shares this thing, and it just like went crazy. Like 50 to 500,000 users overnight, and everyone's just like going crazy over this thing. And then the interesting problem that always hits young people that are just building things because it's fun. You need to make money. There was no ways for me to make money because I was like asking matriculants to download past papers and share it between themselves. They didn't have money. Their parents weren't going to be able to pay either. And that's when I sort of joined an incubator, because then I needed to learn how I can actually, build this thing so that I can make money. That's where I found my next problem, right? So I think that entrepreneurs and founders, their main thing is trying to solve problems in society.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily trying to make money. You've sort of figure that out like as you go, right? So I joined the incubator, and that's where I found my second problem. Joining this incubator, I realized how difficult it was in South Africa to find the right people, the right platforms, the right resources, the right tools to be able to build the things that you care about, right? And it was like, this should be easier. I should have met these people when I had the idea.
Sure.
Not now, 2 years later, where I'm broke and I'm like, man.
You're almost over it.
You're almost over it, you're sick of it. You're just like, I'm broken now. So by the time I met them, my spirit for trying to build this thing was gone. So now you go, okay, I want to build an ecosystem map. So I built Mash Startup as being this one place where young people could go and just figure out who they need, what they need to do at what stage of their business. Whether it was an idea or you built something, you sort of use this platform to navigate South Africa's startup ecosystem.
Yeah.
So that has now become Founder Source, which is something that I run. It's one of the other businesses.
Yeah.
And then
You're on number 3 now.
Hey,
One
you're
number
working.
3, yeah.
Kabanga.
Company.
Hey, this, that. One thing about you is you
Please
do a
carry
lot of
on.
things. Yeah.
So it started with that, and then that became Founder Source. And then I was at this like lunch thing with Facebook executives in Soweto. And at the time, I was being mentored by someone who was in the startup ecosystem, Selebogo Molefe, who was running the hookup dinner. right?
Yes.
And the importance of community is like this story specifically. So for me, everyone that's trying to start, build, or grow anything needs a community to do it.
Yeah.
You need to tap into mentors, people that are building at the same level as you, like just people in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So he was busy that day and he was like, just go to this thing for me. I just don't have time. I went to this thing, met a Facebook executive. She was part of the marketing team very early on. And she was like, what are you guys doing in South Africa to tell the story of entrepreneurs in South Africa? I was like, what do you mean? She was like, how do you guys share your process of starting, building, and growing and the experience in South Africa specifically? I was like, oh, no, we don't do that.
We don't do that.
We don't do that. What we do here is we get entrepreneurs onto platforms, radio, and TV to brag as much as possible about how amazing they're doing. The victory lap is beautiful, right? It's just like, oh man, I've got 5 stores.
Yeah.
We're making so much money. Our brand is out there. Celebrities are wearing it. This is, we've got 500,000 Instagram followers. And I was like, I had this theory that if a radio DJ or anyone like that had asked someone, after they did that whole victory lap, okay, but like, what is it really like running a business in South Africa? What does your accounting look like? Because you're saying how much you're making, but how much are you losing as well?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, what's the accounting look like? Are your taxes in order? Is your business healthy from a financial?
You are scaring.
You'd
Yeah.
see most entrepreneurs just vomit on the table because that would be like, wait, I came here to just
Brag about me.
to brag about how good I am. Right?
Yeah.
And then she was like, you should listen to this thing. It's called podcast. And, they have this amazing journey and story about entrepreneurs and stuff like that. You get to see the process in a way that you never have.
Yeah.
And that's when I started making podcasts, was because my next problem I wanted to solve was genuine, authentic, and real stories about entrepreneurship and creativity in South Africa.
Pause. Did you get that? Balana my notes. So, thank you so much. Remember, the question was, where did you find the audacity?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I absolutely love the fact that you have used your own personal experience. I mean, you have to fall in order to realize and see where exactly the problems are, but you're also so innately a problem solver. Were you selling chippies at school?
That's a very
Oh, and then you're going to go sell it to your friends at school, because there had to be something that you were doing while you were in school or just growing up, something that you saw and observed that already made you an entrepreneur. What was that?
Unfortunately, I do have I fall under that category of cliches.
Sure.
I did buy a pack of sweets and try and sell them, right?
Ah, okay.
But I gave away so many ngepantsela that at the end of the day, I had no money. But the sweets were gone, right? First business lesson,
Yeah.
you should probably charge money for the thing that you have.
Yes.
Exactly.
So that's like one example of that. But not really. Like everyone in my family weren't necessarily entrepreneurial. They very much took a traditional route to the things that they were trying to do. I think university was like my first experience of it because, I think it takes time for you to find your path in life.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you find it, like it's a very violent thing, right? So
Yeah.
the reason why I went into entrepreneurship was because I couldn't study. Not that it's not that I was dumb or anything like that. My body would
clap.
literally just like crumble when I was like trying, right? Like, I mean, Simu feels
Me and you both, my brother.
like being in the library genuinely gave me so much anxiety
Yeah.
that I would like collapse. And I was like, there has to be a way that I can find my purpose and add value to the world that is not the traditional path of studying, getting
Yeah.
a job, and entrepreneurship sort of found me in that way.
Yeah. You actually said it earlier when we were doing the 60 seconds. You said, do you say passion is purpose or purpose is passion? Either way. Why? Talk to me through that.
Yeah, I think when you find your purpose, everything else starts to make sense.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be an easy path. I don't want people to think that, okay, if I find something that I'm really good at, I'm going to be happy. You might not.
Yeah.
It might take everything from you. There's also that side of purpose where it's like, you know, you're upsetting your parents.
Yeah.
My mom does not like this thing. Well, she didn't. But like last week, she called me Mash Startup. And I was like,
That is such a dope name, though.
I was like, damn, maybe she believes in it now. Because I've proven it enough times. Right?
Yeah.
So like you find your purpose where the things start to align, where you're really focused on the thing that you're building, making, or creating.
Yeah.
And you feel fulfilled by it, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be like chilled every day.
Yeah.
It's still going to be hard, but at least you're fulfilled and you feel like you're adding value to the world in the way that you want to.
I love that. I love talking about adding value. I think one thing that we all know, and if you know Mash and if you love Mash, you know that his passion from the outside looking in, it just looks like helping people.
Yeah.
Like if there's one thing that I've always noticed is that common thread with you and the businesses you do and the podcast and just the way you talk to people, it's all about helping people. Where did that come from? Because no matter what it is you're doing, it's almost always for someone else, you know?
No, always.
Always. It is. Yeah.
It's something I need to unlearn though, at a certain level.
Sure.
But I think that definitely came from my family, right?
Okay.
Like my family, for the most part, are civil servants. These are people that were nurses. They were teachers. My mom's been a teacher for over 30 years.
Yeah.
My aunt the same. My other aunt was a nurse. You know,
Okay.
a lot of my family are civil servants, people that didn't look at their jobs as just jobs, but like being able to build the community around them and be able to add value in that way. So it definitely came from family. But more than that, I think we need more of that, right? Like the world is... We have enough capitalistic like people that are just, you know, hey, let me make as much money as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And I wish I had that, right? Like I wish I had that energy of just like, hey man,
I'm about to get my money
I'm
and
trying
that's
to get
all.
this money, right?
Yeah.
Every morning, my first thought is like, how do I fulfill my purpose more?
Yeah.
And my
Yeah.
purpose has always felt like it had to be linked to empowering, enabling, and educating others.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love
something
that.
that's
You know,
always been part of me.
I love the fact that you said that because this is something that has also, I've been pondering on it a lot recently, is just this thing of what does the future of South Africa look like? I mean, we've got all these problems that we have. We were touching on the problem of load shedding before, you know, we started filming. And one thing that I struggle with so much is to picture the future of an African country like South Africa and what it means for us entrepreneurially. What does this capitalistic system look like for us? Or does it mean we changing those structures? Do you get what I'm saying? And it resonates so much with me when you say the two words passion and purpose, because those are my two main mantras, and it's all about the convergence of those two things, the meeting point of that. And it makes me think and realize the fact that the thing that makes us South African is all about community. Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. And I think bringing in your solutionist ways, you know, your problem solving ways, I think that's what the future of this country is. It's that it's not necessarily Western capitalism the way that we know it, but it's about bringing in some form of, okay, not actual communism, but the elements, the key social elements of it. Because guys, I know the social entrepreneurs are so tired. Guys, they have gone through it. Don't worry about that. They have gone through it so much, you know? And I think, I don't know, you just being here and just going back to what Bull Brand is all about and what this podcast is all about is seeing what are the things that make us South African, but also how we can move forward and how we can really uplift not only the citizens of this country, but build something up that's going to be long lasting. And I love the fact that you are somebody that is playing in that space. What do you think it is about South Africans, apart from what I've just said, that I think perhaps the nature that we have that could be part of that solution?
Yeah. I think more than just a community that brings South Africans together, it's also resilience, right?
Yeah.
And we talk about that a lot. Like, we genuinely are very strong people. And you can look at like data across the world about, you know, how much longer we work versus other countries.
Yeah.
The amount of challenges that we have, whether it's unemployment, load shedding, and stuff like that. Like, resilience is at the core of that, right? And I think that's going to be forming the the solution to what eventually happens.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, can we get as many young people doing something?
Yeah.
Like making, creating, building, whatever it is. Because the danger here is a generation that's just like dead sleep. Right? When you're unemployed and you've been trying and you try and you try and you try, you get dejected.
Yeah.
You're just like, nah, there's nothing else, right? But if someone comes to you and shows you a different path and says, someone like Sibu says, this is how you can build up an amazing audience online and start to monetize your creativity. Here's how you can start a podcast and start to really start conversations between people. Here's how you start a startup specifically. Here's how you start a small business. All these sort of things start to add value to the people on the ground. So what you want is as many people as possible who still have the energy, have access to resources, and some level of just like resilience to say, okay, I'm going to build something, but that thing is not just for me. It's for more than just me. I'm going to try and create impact. And I think even the creative sort of part of guys, those people have so much value to add, right? Like I'm learning through Sibu's experience. If he's doing like a vlog and he's talking about how he feels about work, how he's navigating the creative space, that sort of gives me energy and goes, oh, wait, I can learn from his mistakes. I can learn from his experience. And I can start from just TikTok, for example.
Yeah.
I think, also sometimes people really like overcomplicate these things where it's like, I want to start a startup. And you go, I want to build an app. It's like, no, just start a Twitter page first. See if there's a problem for this, right? Like, are you solving a problem for someone out there that really cares about it? I want to be a content creator and be on YouTube or like be on TV. Let's start on TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok doesn't care about the quality of your video. What they care about is like the value that you bring to the world. So for me, it's like a lot more people having that startup mentality where it's like, I want to solve a problem in the world. I want to create value for the world. I want to be able to capture that value and enable as many people around me as possible. If we get as many people as possible being able to do that, just that, it will trickle down so much more.
Yeah.
Like so many more people are being enabled, empowered, and educated to be in a position to build something of their own. Because are the jobs coming, man?
Hey, my brother,
They've
all the
been
jobs
talking about
coming.
the jobs.
Listen, we are
the jobs
here.
coming.
People are studying, and then what happens? Then they're sitting at home doing
With a
absolutely
degree,
nothing
with
with
the
a
honors.
degree.
And like, it's so crazy. Like right now, it's graduation season, and you see the celebration. Like, oh man, this is a beautiful achievement. I look at those things. I'm like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And then sort of the other feeling you start to get at the back of your neck that just goes, Ash.
And then what? Yeah, and then what?
Like, where's he going?
Yeah.
Where are they going?
Yeah. I think it's an incredibly scary thought to think of you studying years and years and years, and then you end up just sitting back home doing absolutely nothing. But on to more positive things. Listen.
I wanna go back to that though, because I mean, you speak of this startup thing, and I realize that it really has to be about solving a problem, because what we see so much of right now is about quick schemes to make money. Like, I'm doing this entrepreneurial thing. Yes, I'm doing it, but it's more so to make money. And so we're not getting products that are actually valuable to our entire civilization or our society as a people. You get what I'm saying? And I want to go back to what it is that you do, because I realize that with all these things that you keep seeing, we keep hearing start, do this, build a TikTok, build a whatever. But as a young person, I often feel so dejected seeing at how many of these things there are, and how little actual change is being made with these things. It's like, where are the actual valuable startups? You know, I don't know. Do you feel the same about that?
Yeah, I mean, more often than not. Do you know my struggle is that just the daily life of being in South Africa, like looking at us, I think sometimes people forget. We were talking earlier about the realities of South Africa, that we're actually in the 1, 2, maybe 5% of South Africans who have jobs or make over 8,000 Rand a month. And at the same time, I'm just like, it's incredible that you can call me part of the 5%, but I feel like I am struggling. I'm one bad month away from poverty. And that's most of us. We're like that. So it is a difficult thing to look at. Even when we were kids, what's the ads that we would get all the time is start a business, be an entrepreneur on SCBs. All the time there was something. And now you look at it and you're like, okay, I want to start a business, but where's the electricity? How do I start this business? Tell me what I need to do.
No, but I love the fact that we've got platforms like this, and the fact that you've also gone into it, and it's because you had an experience where you were told to listen. What is it that you guys do? Like, we need to create spaces of storytelling where we destigmatize these things, where we actually break down what actually goes into this, and we need to also not be fully confrontational, but we really need to ask each other the questions like, dude, are you doing something that matters, or are you just doing something to get a quick buck? Do you get what I'm saying? What is it for you that you found throughout the conversations that you've had, and just really looking at the industry that you're in, that makes you say, you know what, actually, I feel like if we keep doing this, there are solutions that we're finding and all of that? Because obviously, I mean, with your podcasting, this is just having the conversations about it. There's things that come out of that, no?
Yeah, there's a lot that comes out of that, right? So my podcast is part of a media company called Lucha Africa. And what we do there is mainly just like create really high quality content that's focused on entrepreneurship and creativity, right?
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do is catalyze the generation. Like, can we have you learn from someone that's walked the path you want to walk, and for you to walk away and go, yeah, I can start something. Like, and at a very very process level.
Yeah.
I don't like the go start a business. Shout.
It's so not helpful. You guys, you guys
resource?
need to stop doing all of those things. I'm so tired of you guys doing that.
on.
Where are the resources? Where can I find
where's
it?
the tools?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, right? So I've never wanted to be one of those people, right? So Lucha basically is just content, entrepreneurial, educational, very focused on your information intake and you being able to be enabled, empowered in some way. And then we've got Founder Source. Founder Source is a tool library. Basically, when you go on there, there's like a 10-step program that says, here's how you should build a startup. And it goes into, for example, how to find the right problem, how to build an MVP, which is like just the simplest version of the solution that you want to build. How you can
MVP, most viable product.
Yes. Minimal viable.
Minimal, sorry. Just we need to break down the lingo for our people.
So, like, it goes through that 10-step program.
Yes.
It also gives you, we've also got an ecosystem map, which basically says, here's all the incubators, here's your accelerators, here's where you can find funding. You have all of this on one platform. And we've gone through it, like, in a very granular level. There's even a section that's just tools, where you can find stuff like how to build your website, how to build an online store, how to, start building out a brand, for example, or designing one. All these different things are all on there. And then we've built Papershare. Papershare specifically is about helping a lot more young people find jobs at startups. So I think when young people think about jobs, the first thing they think about is like, I want to work at Standard Bank, I want to work at like a major corporate.
Sure.
It's like, no, there's opportunities now for startups that are already at a higher level. These are guys that have raised sort of multiple rounds of funding. They're able to be sustainable. They've got great office spaces, good teams, and they're solving meaningful problems.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to work for a company where you can change positions in 6 months? Only because they're accelerating your growth at a lot faster pace. So that becomes like a very interesting one. The last piece is the one that I'm building now, and it's called Compass Africa.
Ooh, tell us more.
I think that there's a everyone that says they want to start a business always ends up with the same problem, which is, how do I find funding? And you're like, but you have nothing. Why would someone fund you? Right? Let's go back. What kind of funding do you actually need? Are you fund worthy? Who are the people that would actually fund you just for having an idea? Just saying, you know what, I found a problem. Give me money and I can solve it.
Yeah.
Versus say someone that can meet you when you have like 5 team members and you've you've validated the problem and you've been able to solve something. That person then is like at a different type of funding. So now what we want to build is like a map system thing that can help anyone that wants to start, build, or grow something be able to access and navigate South Africa's funding landscape, which is very different from the entrepreneurial and small business landscape.
Sure.
Yep.
So it's literally just like, how do I get funding in South Africa?
Yeah.
We want to build that solution. The thing is, though, and this is my problem,
Bring it to the table,
Bring it
friend.
to us.
I can't code, right? I've never been able to code.
Okay.
The best thing I ever did was learn how to build websites on YouTube, right? Now I need to learn how to code so I can build this thing and put it out.
Here's the thing, though. You don't. We've got all of these great minds, and you've already done it before. That first business, Paper Share, you went and found somebody who said, Doug, put this thing together. Doug, you can't do everything. You can't take all of the cheese. You can't take all of the cheese.
Yeah.
If I learn how to code and I build this and I show my entire journey of me using absolutely zero money to build a solution that helps thousands of people, if someone else sees that journey and experiences that with me, imagine how much more impactful that will be than me just coming out with a product and saying, here it is.
Yeah.
I get that.
Because what I want is like for us to walk a journey where we're actually building something together.
Yeah.
Because then it's possible for you to go, hold on, this guy was just watching YouTube videos and he built this product and people are actually using it. And it has some kind of impact. So for me, it's like you want to create a lot more experiences and situations where other people, young people, can see someone actually go from zero to building something.
Yeah.
And it's out there and they can use it and they can share it with other people. And they go, okay, what can I build?
Yeah.
Like, what will my contribution be? What problem can I solve? How can I start to build a business around the things that I care about?
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking to Mr. Problem Solver.
Guys,
right
there's
here.
like, I absolutely love the direction in which this conversation is going, and just like,
I could listen to Mash all day.
right?
Listen to Mash all day. Mash, tell me, what's your favorite thing about being South African? I think there's a million things I'm sure you could talk about, but what's one thing that just when you wake up and you're just like, I'm so glad I'm here instead of anywhere else?
So many. But more than anything, things feel possible here.
Yeah.
And I know we have a lot of problems. I understand that, right? But at the end of the day, like we have such a massive opportunity here. So recently I did a bunch of podcasts with guys in Cape Town who are building really great startups. And these are guys that have raised like $20 to $50 million.
Guys, the Cape Town guys are really, I don't know what's
Say
in
that
the
number
water.
again for me, my brother. Say it one more time.
Maybe it's because they get the opportunity
I don't know what
to
they're putting
surf
in the
so
water.
often.
I don't think I've ever even seen that amount of. How many zeros is
I
that?
don't know
Yeah.
what they're putting in the water over there, right? Like, so I was speaking to these guys and their experience, and two of them, right, were people that had left South Africa, went to England, worked for 5 to 10 years, and when they wanted to start businesses, they came back. They didn't build them there.
Yeah.
And I asked him, yo, man, why would you come back? Because the trend right now is, anti-South Africa. Everyone wants to go away. And I do want to mention they are white because it's important for this conversation.
Yeah.
They came back. I was like, why did you come back? They said, if I stayed there, I would have to build the fastest way someone can get a slice of pizza. In South Africa, I can build a solution to help people, for example, with STDs, be able to access medication in a discreet and less intrusive way. I can build access to healthcare. I can build access to water. I can build a solution for the load shedding. I can build something meaningful here that can impact a generation. Over there, you're building a trinket. You're building a fun, just little project. We have an opportunity here. And the thing is, it's hard to see that when things are so difficult, when things are just like so negative. But we have an opportunity to be able to build things, to be able to test things, to be able to create things.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to just be like a startup conversation. Even creators have value to offer. People that are just like creating very meaningful content have a lot to offer. Small businesses, same thing.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity still here to build something that matters for a lot longer and will impact a lot more people rather than just be, it's a fun thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
I
just
get
vibes.
that. I get that.
Looking at all of this opportunity, right? And let's just for a second picture that we're living in this utopian world where
I mean, we are. It's Joe.
follow
Listen,
me.
this is amazing.
We're living in this utopian world where, you know what, the things that we want to happen actually happen. What does that mean for Mash and all of his companies 5 years from now? That's why I said utopian. Remember? What does that mean for you 5 years from now? And what does that look like in terms of this problem finally being solved, or at least a handful of them being solved?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost is being able to establish and build this ecosystem of tools for builders, right? If I can be the source for people to go into the ecosystem and be able to navigate building something up until the end of it, right? Which could be just like being able to raise funding and the business is funded, you employing people. I will have one, even if it's just one person. I don't need to impact millions. What I care about is impacting people at all, because most people won't, right? So for me, it's like, if I can build this ecosystem that allows someone to come in on one end and go out the other, and they have built something that really matters, that's it.
Oof. That's it. That is powerful. I love that. Listen, the name of the podcast is The State of the Strong. So we have to ask you, what is your message of strength to the people of Mzansi?
Sure. That's a hard one. But also an easy one.
Yeah.
Every morning I post these Instagram reels.
Yeah.
And it's basically just like my tweets. But I've started building a signature and like something that keeps coming into my mind all the time, which is just keep building.
Yeah.
Just keep building. And if you haven't started, that's the message. Now is the time to start, figure it out. Whether it's like finding the problem that really matters to you. And you don't have to go far. Go outside, take a walk.
Yeah.
Hang out with your friends a lot more. Hang out with strangers. Join communities. Go into places where you would be exposed to problems. Because the human thing is to recognize all the good things that are around us.
Sure.
The difficult thing is realizing the gaps and the problems that need to be solved and being able to go, okay, what would be the first step to solving this problem or building this thing or creating this thing? Take that first step. That's it. So for me, the message always will always be just keep building. And if you haven't started, this is the time. If you're already building and it's difficult, don't stop.
Yeah.
Just keep building.
That resilience, hey? Is a common theme.
What other way can you close that off? Do you get what
That's
I'm
the
saying?
Mash 101.
Like, Mash, where
You
do
guys
you
didn't
get
give me a mic to drop.
Nah,
That was the-
I was literally about to say, where do you get these mic
Technically,
dropping
you already mic
moments?
dropped a
This
little
was
bit
the
earlier. Mash, if people are looking for you online, they want to get some help or they just want to see those. I see those stories, hey, of your tweets.
Yeah.
And every morning when I see them, I'm like, you know what?
So are
I'm
you
going
gonna
out
keep
there
building?
I'm going to
Gonna
keep building.
keep
That's what I'll be doing.
building?
If people are looking for you online, where can they find you, brother?
So it's Mash at Mash Startup across all platforms. I'm basically on everything.
Yeah.
Just don't come to me on LinkedIn. I don't like LinkedIn. LinkedIn makes me feel weird. So at Mash Startup on every platform. And then to find startup jobs, go to papershare.co.za. To find tools to build your business, go to Founder Source. Source as in tomato sauce.
Okay.
Even though we hope to be the source of hope for entrepreneurs.
Oh!
Okay.
Are you also
Founder
going to be a
Source.
rapper? Carry
I
on.
mean,
Drop the
look,
bar.
we all need more side hustles. If I have to, I'll do it.
Fair.
Foundersource.com and then lucha.com for the best entrepreneurial content and learning from people that are building just like you.
Oof. And he didn't lie, hey, when he says best entrepreneurial content. He never lied. Did I? That was amazing.
That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much to you guys for tuning in on YouTube and to all of our podcast streaming platforms. I love the tone that we have officially set today and that we have set for season 2 of the State of the Strong podcast, because we're coming through with like nation building. Hey, it's the State of the Strong Nation address. Do you get what I'm saying? No, this is what I want this space to be. Personally, you know, being part of this is what I want this environment to be like. For us to leave with something that we can honestly say, you know what, A, I learned from this, but B, I feel like I can grow and go keep building.
Yeah.
These are important platforms. Please keep doing what you're doing. I think it's so important. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for coming through, Sibu. Thank you for being my co-host.
Standard
I'm
procedure,
so happy
girl.
to be sitting next to you after such a while.
We're back.
And you guys need to make sure that you stay tuned because this season is about to be a banger. Make sure that you check us out on YouTube and every, like I said, podcast streaming service because this state is about to be 100% strong.
Yes, ma'am. Bye, guys.
Just
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. So, Mash, I need to tell you something. Sibu and I had a complaint last season that we never got to eat Bull Brand on the podcast. And it's a Bull Brand podcast. And so they switched it up for a little bit. Chef Kabza has put together, what have you put together for us?
So today I've put a stir fried with Bull Brand. And some vegetables for you guys.
Okay, so we got a little bit of some healthy. Can we dig in?
Can we dig in?
Bon appetit.
We got Bull Brand stir fry.
Are we using the fork?
Yeah, we can use
Knife.
the forks. We don't have to use that. Yazi ngumZulu mina. I want you to go hand in first, but abantu be Bull Brand said, Sibu, act like you've been here before. Okay. There we go.
Okay. I don't think I've ever eaten on camera. This is hard.
You're
Hey,
being
it's
too
tough.
fancy.
Okay,
Jonga.
Vlogger 101.
Jonga.
Here we go.
It's
Okay.
But now I have a-
Yeah, go for it. You can put it right there.
Okay, cool.
I want to get that. Oh, this looks good. Here we go, Sibu. Everybody's watching. Oh, that bang.
That's good. It's really good.
Oh, Chef Kabza, you're going to come home with me.
Oh,
Wow. For the food, guys. For the food. My goodness. Rye and mash. Wow. If you're looking for the recipe to this amazing meal, you can find it on bullbrand.co.za /recipe. We're about to go back in. We'll see you guys now.